is shaken, and I will share with you the reason behind it and the recent developments that took place in West Bank and how these events played a role in what is happening in Israel at the moment. Before I move on, just to remind you, my subscribers, if you're not one of them, consider subscribing. So let's talk about what is happening right now. 3 buses explode in Israel in suspected terror attack, according to Israeli police. These attacks are not conducted by locals or armed gang members. Unlike what we have seen just a few days ago, there was shooting and killing and knife attacks in Israel. Some of these Israeli citizens, the local gang members, they came out to fight against each other, and there was casualties. But this time it is not these local gang members. 3 buses have exploded in Bat Yam, south of Tel Aviv, in what Israeli police say in a suspected terror attack. Devices in 2 other buses failed to explode, they said, adding that, quote-unquote, large police forces are at the scene searching for suspects. According to one report, I believe it was reported on Channel 12, Israeli media, these buses, they arrived at the parking lot just before the explosion, and they're quoting it as miraculous that these devices did not explode while the bus was running with passengers on board. But that is something that was reported by Israel Channel 12 News. Transport Minister Miri Regev paused all buses, trains, and light rail trains in the country so that checks for explosive devices could be carried out, Israeli media said, Israeli report said. In other words, the entire Israeli communication has been disrupted, especially in Tel Aviv. They are not letting those bus service to resume normal as of yet, but looks like they are going to get to the bottom of it to find out the culprits. And this is what we see, that the police, right now Shin Bet is also involved in this investigation. They were not able to find out the suspects who carried out this attack. They have absolutely no clue. Netanyahu has ordered the Israeli military to carry out, quote-unquote, an intensive operation against centers of terrorism in the West Bank. The Prime Minister's office posted on X. We'll talk about the West Bank in a second. There have been no reports of casualties at this stage, police said. Again, as I said, these buses, they just parked in the parking lot, and then it got exploded. Now, this is what was expected. Netanyahu will take aim at West Bank after bus explosions near Tel Aviv. 3 empty buses exploded on Thursday evening, while Israeli police found 2 more undetonated bombs. In one of the bombs, there was an inscription written, "Revenge from Tulkarem." Revenge from Tulkarem. Now, we'll talk about Tulkarem in a second. But what Israel is doing right now is obviously going to be a disproportionate response, just like they did on October 7th and after that. And this is what is being echoed by Israeli officials, the genocidal maniacs. Israel is gearing up for an intensive operation in the occupied West Bank after bombs detonated on 3 empty buses. Israeli security services say the bombings on Thursday evening, which caused no casualties, were the work of armed groups, according to the Israeli media. Now, following the attempt to perpetrate a chain of mass bus bombings, Netanyahu has just completed a security assessment, the office of the Israeli Prime Minister said on social media. Now, let's talk about what Israel is doing in West Bank, or what led to this kind of attack coming from West Bank. And this report is coming directly from CNN, a mouthpiece or a Western media, a pro-Israeli, pro-Zionist propaganda. CNN, they have said Israel demolishes West Bank apartment buildings as military campaign displaces tens of thousands of Palestinians. And this is ongoing for the past several decades, that Israel will go there, demolish those apartments, and then hope that they will not face any retaliation, then hope that they can just go back home, have a cup of tea, and forget about the atrocities, the genocide they're committing in West Bank. Israeli forces demolished more than a dozen apartment buildings at a refugee camp in the occupied West Bank on Tuesday. So it happened just a day ago. A Palestinian official told CNN the latest move in a military operation that has displaced tens of thousands of Palestinians. Since Hamas's October 7 attack, Israel has engaged in an increasingly militarized campaign that it says targets West Bank militants, employing tactics like airstrikes that were once nearly unheard of there. As you can see, it was unimaginable for the people of West Bank to come under any kind of airstrikes from Israel, but these days it has become a new normal, a routine. Why? Because Israelis' atrocities has reached to a level where they do not want anybody to live in West Bank, no Palestinian. And as we know, they are already in the process of annexing West Bank from Palestine, which they will obviously be met with a lot of challenges. But the atrocities, the volume of it is something unbelievable. Now, not only this, they have also committed killing. So they are demolishing buildings, they're killing the people in West Bank. The reason I'm mentioning about West Bank is because it has a lot to do with this particular attack in Tel Aviv. I'll connect the dots for you in a second. Israeli army kills 3 Palestinians in West Bank refugee camp. Israeli soldiers stormed the Far'a refugee camp, killing 3 as raids and arrests continue across West Bank. So you can see how miserable that place is, how dangerous it is for anybody to live in West Bank at the moment, and there is absolutely no reason for them to come under this kind of attack from the Zionists, simply because there is really no fighting going on from the Palestinian side. Hamas said, we will not go and join West Bank, the Palestinian Authority. They are not conducting any military operation there. Then why we see the Zionist forces going there and trying to displace and kill and demolish buildings? Well, the answer is, this is who they are. Now, this is coming from UN. Israeli offensive on occupied West Bank forcibly displaced 40,000, according to UN. And UN says 44 deaths in the occupied West Bank since January were linked to operations in Jenin, Tulkarem, and Tubas. So you understand this particular place, Tulkarem. Let's see where this attack in Tel Aviv took place. So if you take a look at the map, this is Beit Yam, and this is the place where this attack took place. As you can see on the map here, I'm pointing with my pointer. Beit Yam, where it is located, if you zoom out from it, you can see where it is located. So it is in Tel Aviv, and it is right here, Beit Yam. And this is where the strike took place. Now, how close this is to West Bank? Let's see. So West Bank is not too far off. They are very close, and because of the proximity, you can see they have decided, this group, to carry out an attack in that particular place in West Bank. So West Bank and Tel Aviv and this place is not too far. So for the people to come, or the fighters to cross over to this particular place and carry out an attack would be not that difficult because of the proximity and the distance and all that. So obviously this is, I believe, would not be the first one. If Israel continues on with this kind of atrocities in West Bank, there will be a lot more attacks coming their way. Now, not only this, but also Israel, we have seen they have killed 3 Palestinian police officers in Gaza, Interior Minister says, and this was a clear violation of the ceasefire deal they have with Hamas. Hamas, they warned Israel, if you dare to do it one more time, we will not release hostages and you will face consequences for it. And since then, we have seen how Israel stopped bombing Hamas members in Gaza, and also those tents, those makeshift shelters they built in Gaza for those people who are now coming back from to northern Gaza. Of course, this will be used as a prelude for strike on Iran, and Iran was accused in the past by Israel and by US that they're helping these militant groups in West Bank directly because of the geography, because of the access to West Bank by Iranian spies, Iranian military. That's what they have alleged. They are able to help the West Bank people directly without any problem, unlike Gaza, where they hardly have any access. So Iran, according to this, Iran is exploiting West Bank power vacuum, Palestinian analyst says. And this Palestinian analyst, I believe, is from the Palestinian Authority, who is a sellout. They sell information to Israel. They kill, in fact, Palestinian, their own people, for Israel. Iran is taking advantage of the ruling Palestinian Authority's lack of political legitimacy in the Israeli-occupied West Bank to arm militants. The director of a leading research center in Ramallah told Iran International, and this was published on January of 2025, January 22nd. So that was only a month ago, where they have they sounded the alarm of Iranian presence in West Bank and carrying out this kind of attacks on Israel and on behalf of the people of West Bank. But this whole thing, guys, this new attack in Tel Aviv, what we're hearing right now, is most likely is just the beginning of more atrocities of Israelis, and they are going to be destabilize the entire region, especially West Bank, and also would they think also to do some airstrikes on Gaza as an excuse for this kind of attack on them? We do not know, but most likely more and more people will get killed. But one thing stands, which is that the people of Palestine, they're not going to let Israel to continue these atrocities, killing of people and displacing them. I mean, what I just mentioned, 40,000 displaced by Israel, was reported by UN. It is not something I'm making up or anybody is making up. It is coming from UN. But the casualties and injuries and death toll will only rise, what we see or what we predict.